Hello. Welcome and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to She's the Boss Radio Network. You know, we are a 24-hour, 7-day a week, and we focus on topics to build, strengthen, inspire, as well as motivate men, women, and the youth from the home to the conference room and around our community. I am your host, Sharon Terry, aka The Listener. Sharon's Neighborhood Chat, hashtag chat it up, where your voices will be heard and not ignored. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Next week we will be starting a contest for our listeners to call up. So make sure that you tune in then. So thank you for tuning in to WSTBRN, She's the Boss Radio Network. Today I have Miranda, which is my co-host, yes. Miranda T.
Yes.
You should see it with her eyelashes on, her earrings match her sweater. She got it going on up in here.
Represent.
Yeah. I have my my guest co-host, Victoria.
Hello.
My best friend from back in the day. So we want to encourage you guys to listen and join in next week. You know how we roll. We start out with current affairs, and Miranda is going to lead us into current affairs.
All right. And right here in our back door, the government is releasing. I know you've heard the chatting or the chattering of concerning the government is releasing plans to force us all to take a vaccine concerning this COVID-19. Said that he's that in I think he said it's in his third stage of trial, and that the President Trump is stating that it is soon to be released to the public, and that if we refuse, that he will have reinforcement with the military lineup.
Get out of here.
So what you guys think
That's
about
a bunch
that?
of crap.
What you think about that?
You're definitely breaking the law right there.
Right.
They can't make somebody take a vaccine.
Yeah, my thought was, so how you going to force us to take a shot?
Exactly.
Right.
We have parents that willfully don't even give their children their vaccinations for school purposes. So you gonna force me to take a needle that you are actually doing a trial run on?
Right.
So now I'm a lab rat.
Right.
So, but then I know we've all heard that unfortunately, Trump is and his wife now are stated to be positive for the COVID-19 virus. Mm-hmm. And just a few minutes ago, I heard that he was being rushed over to the hospital. So guys, what do you think about that? You know, I have some people believing, he's reaping what he sowed, and then you got other people believing that this is just a cover up for something different. So what do y'all think about that?
I don't know, because he never wears a mask, and I never seen his wife wear a mask. Have you?
No, never.
So this bound to happen. So I don't know whether I believe it or not, but he needs to get the COVID. He needs to get it. So because he think it's a joke that we shouldn't wear masks and you can go out. I mean, it's crazy.
Right, and the sad thing about it though, he's not being safe. Okay, but then look at the other lives that you're infecting. So I'm saying all the way around, this man has had a negative impact on this United States, because you do things and you don't take the thought about what you're doing, and then now you're out here wearing a mask, and now you're exposing people that work in close proximity with you and their families.
Right.
So we see this man already doesn't have a good choice of judgment.
Well, myself, I believe it's a hoax. I believe he does not like to face facts. And as they were saying, Biden beat him so bad that he does not want to go back on the podium with Biden.
I guess not.
Yes.
They said that thing was terrible.
It was. I had to turn it off.
They were telling each other to shut up, honey. I was just looking for them to draw a chalk line on the floor and say, "I dare you to cross this or knock this chip off my shoulder." And let you. I was looking forward to be a real brawl up in there.
They said Trump was over talking to everybody and everything.
Again, that shows they said he got paid to go to Harvard.
Wow.
He got paid.
Well, we seeing the evidence of that, because he surely lacks discipline.
Yes.
And integrity,
Right.
So, we really have to be careful when come time to vote and put your votes in. Please make sure you think things through. A lot of people that I have talked to, their main reasoning for siding with Trump is because his I guess his heroistic deed he done with the stimulus checks, and then those that do make more money than some of us, they also looking at the fact that everything that he stands for will help accommodate them. So, but you can't look at just one group of people. You have to look at everybody overall.
Right.
So when you look in that mirror, wake up. No, you gotta go vote. It's so imperative. It's actually going to help your kids more than it's going to help you.
Yes.
So if you don't vote, then you don't have nothing to say.
No excuse. We have no excuse.
Don't be complaining.
And we claim, those of us that are complaining now, and I'm gonna say us, I voted, but for those of us that are complaining now, this could be a part of the repercussions of the fact that you didn't think of it being important for you to go out and push a couple buttons on a computer,
right.
So that we wouldn't probably have to deal with some of the things that we're dealing with right now. So I hope that we really think about it now.
Yeah, it'll take less than 5 minutes to vote.
Less than 5 minutes, a little inconvenience.
Right.
Well, your grandmother used to say when you go somewhere long, pack a lunch. So, pack a lunch, take your chair, and let's go vote. You got early voting, you might not have to pack a lunch.
Right.
Right. So, yeah. That's crazy. Today we're going to talk about, we're just going to be chatting today.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Talk.
We have Miranda, she's a foster parent. We have Victoria, who is a foster parent. And you have me, I'm just a parent.
Actually, that's what foster parenting is. We are just parents in the place of absent parents. Unfortunately, we do have to wind up dealing with a lot of things that parents neglect to do. And unfortunately, we usually get the bad end of the stick because the children usually take out on the foster parent what they actually really want to take out on their parent.
Exactly.
And and then the thing about it, especially you don't go into fostering just because it's a job. It really is a job.
It's a
and
nurturing,
it's an underpaid job, but you have to have the heart to do so.
Want to do it.
Right. And so I want to think that those that are becoming foster parents, this is my thought about it, those that are becoming foster parents, they're doing it for the right reason because they want to help assist children with a better way of living, But unfortunately, because we get the bad end of the stick because we deal with the lack thereof from the parent, we leave with hearts broken, we leave with emotional stress, and sometimes when we didn't take high blood pressure medication, now we on high blood pressure medication.
Yes, amen.
So, Victoria been doing this since you got out of high school, right?
Oh, wow.
All of my girls are grown.
Oh, really?
Everybody grown. So I'm just left with one.
Okay.
And does she say she's never leaving? She's 28 years old.
Believe her.
Don't want to believe her.
Believe her, because I have been doing it for 12 plus years. I do therapeutic foster care. So one of
so what's that?
That therapeutic is where normally these children have some criminal history or they are actually been diagnosed with some type of mental disability or physical disability. So it just puts them in just a different bracket, meaning that they just need more care than maybe just someone generally needing just to be taken care of until the parent actually gets themselves together. Normally when a child's in therapeutic foster care, there's really no time, a chance of them really reuniting with the parent, because at that point when you're therapeutic, the parent actually is not actually wants to be involved, or the parents are forced to be involved, so you still got a bad situation all the way around. So, you have to really, like I said, have the heart and want to be into foster care. It's nothing that you just take lightly because you are impacting people's lives. Actually, I have 3 success stories. 3 of my foster boys. And really, I don't really like doing girls. And that's just my personal pet peeve.
Trust me, I understand.
But I have 3 success stories. I have 3 foster boys. They're both parents now, and I'm still actually parenting them, even though that they're not with me or not biologically are my children, but they're still my children. So
you're still mommy to them.
Yeah, I'm still mommy to them. I have one all the way in Colorado, and I'm still mommy. I call him and things when I see things on Facebook. That's a good monitoring mechanism effectiveness on Facebook because you can tell what your children doing through Facebook, right? And so when I see things that are inappropriate, or I can tell when something's going on, that's when I chime in. So it can be rewarding, but it can be challenging as well.
So, what made you want to be a foster parent?
My grandmother, because my grandmother actually took in everybody. But my grandmother lived with us, so she taught me how to take care of kids. And actually, when she passed, she said, I need you to keep the family together. And that's like the hardest thing to do. But I did go back and get all of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren that my aunt and my uncle and my brother, I took all the kids in that they left.
So how did you get into it?
Well, actually, the way I got into it, I had got one of my neighbor's kids. I had the little girl for 2 years. And the mother came back to get her. And I was like, from 2 years? Again, I called the police and they stepped in, protective services stepped in. And they told her she had to prove if this child was with them or not.
Wow.
But I had everything.
Oh, wow. So they were actually the biological parent, but because you had, really stepped in and started being a parent, you really had all the
I
documents.
had everything.
Oh, wow.
School, clinic,
Wow.
psychiatrist. I had everything for this little girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a hero within itself.
We are about to go to break. So don't go anywhere. Get your little cup of coffee or some water or some milk or some wine. And we'll be right back.
Yeah, that's the sound of today's business community. It's a dog-eat-dog world and only the strong survive. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing business environment to put your business in the forefront. So how does your business keep up with the changes? That's where She's the Boss Network comes in. She's the Boss Network is an internet media network that's been helping businesses like yours get the exposure that you're looking for at reasonable cost by way of radio and video. They'll help you stay successful by navigating change and seeing the big picture. After She's the Boss Network analyzes your business and marketing strategies, you'll start to see a media presence like you've never seen in your business before. And She's the Boss Network doesn't stop there. They use their findings to create a practical plan of action, a plan that will get your business from where you are to where you need to be. There you go. Lock those dogs up for good by giving She's the Boss Network a call at 866-494-5945, extension 101, or by checking their website at she'sthebossradio.com. Again, that's 866-494-5945, extension 101, or she'sthebossradio.com.
All right, we are back. We hope you are still tuned in with us. We are still yet talking about the life of foster parenting. Victoria's here sharing her testimony about how foster parenting can be rewarding and challenging. And so by saying so, I want to ask you right now, what was a rewarding and what was a challenging incident for you as being a foster parent?
My rewarding was they gave me a little boy, and come to find out that the little boy was actually biologically brothers to the two sisters that I had. And the challenging part, the Washington, D.C. did not tell me that this little boy was HIV positive.
Oh, wow.
So I found out when he was like a year old. And they actually told me I could take him back to St. Anne's nursing home and that they would find a place for him to be placed in. And I was like, you got to be crazy. How can you just turn your love off on a child? That's not with this, with us.
Right.
And so, I end up keeping them. I set all my girls down and I explained to them what had happened, what was told to me. And my two oldest girls, one is named Carlette and one is named Tequila. They was like, oh, Ma, you tripping because of that? We already know what to do.
Right.
So we had a plan. If he fell and cut himself, my girls would rally around him and somebody would come get me.
Okay.
So, it was okay until he actually got sick, but he did not die from AIDS.
All right.
I live in D.C. Housing Authority, and where I live at, my house floods all the time, raw sewage.
Oh, wow.
We asked them to move us. They never got a chance to move us. And he ended up catching a bacteria in his lungs.
Wow.
And that's what killed him.
Oh, my.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was my best reward and my regrets because of the flooding. Other than that, I don't think I'll be another foster parent because I love hard.
Yeah.
I don't love easy.
Yeah.
But I'm always there for my grandkids.
Yes, yes. And that can be quite challenging, you know, and, you know, my hat goes off to you because a lot of times you can become acquainted with agencies that look at these children as cargo versus as children or lives, and they pass them around from house to house, and they don't understand that once you have broken a relationship that a child is establishing, you are really now injuring them again.
Exactly.
So, you know, that's why a lot of times we have had some challenging children. My husband and I, we've been foster parents for 12 plus years, and we've had some challenging children, but our agreement to one another was that we weren't going to just easily just pass them off. We tried to work with them the best that we could. Believe me, if a child ever left our home, it was something that we absolutely could not deal with. We had one child that we did for 3 months. We didn't get to sleep. We had to take go to sleep in shifts, you know, because he was psychotic. Yes, and his father was actually his grandfather. And so he had a lot of mental issues, you know, and he was on a lot of medication. So he would do some things that we had to rather make sure that someone was up, because he would go into other people's bedrooms, standing over them with weapons or whatever. So and then he would go in, and we couldn't trust him in the neighborhood alone, because he would then, you know, come back with stories, whether they be true or false, but he would come back with stories, and then he would be acting irate. So, you know, foster parent can be very rewarding because, especially when you see those that when they come in your home. I had a young man came in my home. He couldn't read. He couldn't write. And it was tedious. I mean, very tedious. Things that I had to do in order to get him to a place where he could function properly in school. But the rewarding part of it was that where he was supposed to graduate with just a certificate, he graduated with a diploma. So that was very rewarding for me, you know. So I love it. I love it. But as you said as well, I don't believe I ever want to become a foster parent, because continue to be foster parent. Right now, my house is a proof of being their respite, but far as full-fledged opening again, I don't believe I would, because I love hard as well.
Right, and I don't think the system actually support people that love hard, that want the best for these kids.
Yes.
I really don't believe the system backs you up, because when my son passed away, I actually had to ask other people to help me bury him.
Wow.
Now, they said they was going to help me, but nobody could find the paperwork down at CFSA.
Oh, wow.
I thought they like automatically something like that happened.
Nobody helped me from CFSA in Washington, D.C. Nobody. One lady stood up. That was, you heard of the Big Brother, Big Sister program. And so they ended up giving him a big sister, because they said, you know, he might not live to be, they gave us 5. But he lived to be 8.
Oh, wow.
And he probably would have lived longer if we wasn't in my unit. She paid for the whole funeral.
Oh, wow.
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 And I asked her, I said, you can give me a monthly plan and I'll pay you every day. And she, you know, every month. She said, no, I loved him too.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
she paid for everything except the opening and the closing of the grave.
Man.
Wow.
And that lets you know we got to have a community of people to, especially with this generation coming.
Exactly.
I can imagine. I'm actually actively involved right now in my agency, but I can imagine the flooding of need for care for these children right now, because of all this is going on, even concerning this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, when it comes to being a foster kid, do you have a choice? Do you have a choice of what kid coming into your home?
I think you should be able to have a choice, but most likely you don't. I know in Washington, D.C. now that before they bring you the child, they bring you the folder so you can read it, you know, read their history. But I think you should be able to have a choice. I actually took family members in, so I didn't have a choice.
Right. Because you never know whether that child is compatible with your household.
That's how
you know.
it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And once you get the child in and you establish a relationship and everything, it's hard to just say you don't want the child.
With us, it's hard.
Right.
With us.
Right.
Because we that's what we do. We make it work.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
So
And then, from experience, it is true that they do bring you a folder with information concerning the children, but they don't always put all information
They
in.
don't.
And I was fortunate enough that the young man that I was just speaking about that was psychotic. I was fortunate enough that the foster parent that had him before me
Called you.
knew enough that the agency was hiding things. So she, not by mistake, she actually put paperwork in there to for me to be able to see. And she said, I'll know if this foster parent is a true foster parent because they'll find this information and they'll reach back. And I am a thorough person, so I read every documentation. So I read everything, and I was finding some things, and I'm so glad that I did, and I was thorough because he had a history of touching. And I had grandchildren.
Oh yes.
So, and then when I was able to conversate with her, she shared with me a lot of different things that she said at first you won't see them because they're good at hiding it. But eventually you're going to see the true color of it. And I'm glad that she prompted me and prepared me because it helped me to be able to put out a lot of fires that wouldn't have been
Went
able
so
to
far.
right. So I was so glad about that. Yeah, I was glad.
wow, that's a lot. So
And I used to work out of DC as well.
wow. So what do you think about foster kids aging out of the agency? Is there a need for someone like foster care or someone
Yes.
to bring in?
Yes. I think it's crazy because they'll actually let a 21-year-old out of the system and nowhere to live, no money, no nothing. And this how we be getting, or this how it becomes homeless teenagers.
Right. So
And I think the system is wrong. I actually think it should be a program that it'll take them to 30. By that time, they should be really ready to stand up on their own because sometimes it takes 10 years to peel all of the peelings back to actually find out or how to make this child be able to live in a regular world that we call a regular world.
right. In
See,
society.
our world is not regular to them. We're different.
Which is so true. I've had the 3 that I've had aged out. I believe that if it wasn't for the fact that my husband and I and the family that we created, if we still was not in connection, I really feel like these children would have fell through the cracks. Or not only fall through the cracks, but I think a situation with them would have been a lot worse than some of the, because like you said, it takes a while for the layers to be peeled back, and some recover and some don't. But I just been fortunate that the ones that have aged out of my home have really been successful. They may not be the greatest that some people would think they should be, but they're the best that they can be. And that's one thing that my husband and I always instill in them, and we always let them know you might not can come back and live here, but you always can come back and get some advice, a meal, or whatever, because we tell them once you age out, you're actually considered, in my book, an adult. Not that we're going to leave you out there alone, but we would then start giving you advice and guiding you as an adult versus a child.
Because at 21 or 8, they age out at 21.
The boys do.
Yeah, the boys. Yeah.
And the girls,
18.
oh, so it's 2 different ages.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
A lot of 18-year-olds, they don't know nothing about being on their own.
Nothing.
I think that when they're in the foster care, when like a year or 2 before they age out, they should be looking what type of job they need to be getting, what kind of education they're trying to do. I mean, they should be preparing themselves for when that day comes. It'll be an easier transition, so we don't have so many kids on the street that's homeless.
Right.
It doesn't happen like that.
It doesn't. And I believe
That's fairy tale.
Right. And I believe they depend on the parent to do all these things, but they don't pay us enough to be a parent and provide food, clothing, shelter, and then be a counselor, then be a job readiness person, and all that. Good thing that like I said, we develop a family unit that we all was able to help each one in that area. But everybody's not fortunate like that, you know. So.
But it's just sad how many kids that is homeless that are sleeping in the alleys and highways under the bridges and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, a lot of stuff go on out there on the streets.
Yeah.
And the
with
system
those
knows,
kids.
but it's not like the system don't know. They know.
It's just sad. I mean, you know, we have some people who have a job and it's still homeless.
Yes.
Right.
As an adult and not even foster care person.
Right.
A person that's been in foster care. So you can imagine those that haven't had that person that to help groom them and help them to see the need to be employed. Because some people allow these children to think that they should depend on this monthly check that come in.
Yeah.
And what we would do is we would actually sit them down and say, okay, this is room and board, this is clothing, this is your weekly allowance, this is this, and this is that. And their allowance was based upon them doing what they were supposed to do in the house. So that's how we actually ran our home. We sat them down. It wasn't like we collected the check and you get what you got. We actually sat them down and we was like, okay, you want to know where your money go? And then at the end of the day, you tell me where we are benefiting from this.
Exactly.
Well, we are about to go to break. Like I say, it's going to be quick. So just get your glass of wine. Well, it's too early.
Yeah.
It's never too early. Drink that wine.
Get some hot tea or something like that. Or get your cup of coffee. And we'll be right back.
Just because we're kissing don't mean we undressing. You ain't creeping and suggesting those freaky little things you could do, cause the answer's no. Baby, gotta let you know, if and when the time comes with me and you sexy slow, wrap it up, cause I ain't carrying your embryo. You're staring at a woman that'll slap your ass to the floor. You say I ain't right, but you keep coming back cause the girl's tight. Yeah, you ain't spending the night, after we done, head back to the wife. You heard? Yeah, I know it feels so nice. Swing by for some love tonight. I heard that it's so special. All you get to get is just a touch. Just a touch. We can take our time, we ain't gotta rush, you know. Just a touch. If you wait a minute, we'll do all that stuff, you know. Just a touch. Baby boy, let's make it special. I'ma have it my way. Right now, you get just one touch.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Baby, just wait a minute, baby, just wait a minute, wait a minute. Baby, just wait a minute, wait.
Yeah, my love's on overload. Don't mean to boast, but a kiss and make it overdose. Yeah, hold me tight, hold me close. Turn out the lights, knock you out, pull you comatose. Boy, you rockin' with the most. Estelle take you on a ride like a roller coaster. I heat it up like a toaster. Boy, bring your body over. I know what to do. Lay it down, put the zoom on you. Yeah, you tryna play it cool. You know you wanna drool like a baby do. Come on, yeah, boy, I'm through with you. Get your shoes on, cause I'm using you. But listen, it's so special. All you get to get is just a touch. Just a touch. We can take our time, we ain't gotta rush, you know. Just a touch. If you wait a minute, we'll do all that stuff, you know. Just a touch. Baby boy, let's make it special. I'ma have it my way. Right now, you get just one touch. Just
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Just a touch.
Wait a minute,
Just a touch. Just wait a minute, baby. Just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Baby, just wait a minute. Wait. Just a touch. Just a touch. Just a touch.
Welcome back. This is Sharon's Neighborhood Chat, aka The Listener. I'm about to ask each one of our guests this question. Being a foster parent, would you prefer an infant or a teenager or in between?
I'm definitely going to go with an infant because you can actually prepare them for a better life. Like, you can actually raise them to believe that you are their parents. Now, a toddler and on up, I think by the time a child is 3 years old, they have their own mindset. They have their own mindset. So, no, I would prefer a baby. I actually got all my kids when they were babies, except two. Yeah.
So how did you handle the two that wasn't infants?
She refused to call me mommy.
Okay.
She calls me aunt, but everybody else calls me mommy.
Why she say it?
Because she remembers her mother.
Oh, okay.
So she feels like if she calls me mommy,
You be replacing her
Her
mom.
mom.
I can understand that. I can understand.
But you never made it a request, or not a request, but made it that she had to call you mommy.
I preferred it so it wouldn't be no. I thought, well, how is that your sister?
Oh,
You know, because all of them were raised to say, this is my sister.
okay.
And that's my little brother. But she always said, Aunt Vicky.
I'm Vicky. Okay.
How about you?
Myself, I prefer to have an infant as well. Just piggyback what she was saying. Victoria was saying rather that you pretty much can groom that child to and help them to develop in a more positive way than you would if you got someone that has already knowingly suffered some type of trauma, already knowingly have developed some type of habit that they've picked up from their parents. So it's like, to me, it's like a clean slate when you get an infant.
Right.
But once you get a child that's already been here and existing and already gone through, a whole lot, it's just sometimes hard to maneuver. I never made it a request for them to call me mom, but they always did. But my only thing that I did was I asked them to respect me as an adult. So Miss Williams would have been another name that they can call me, but they always call me mom. But I always would ask them what would make you call me their mother, and a lot of times they say because you're more like my mom than my mother is. And so, but then I would still go back and say, you know what, I would never try to replace your mom, but I hope that from this point on that you can see a better example of what mothering should be. I was always a person that no matter how what I'm trying to think of a nice word. No matter how the parent wasn't the parent that they should have been to the child, I always try to still yet bring hope. I found myself not only just maneuvering and manage with the children, but I found myself working with the parents. And I had one set of parents because I had a Caucasian young man. I call him my white chocolate. He loves it when I say that. But his parents were they were racist. They didn't like black people at all, but it was kind of hard trying to establish a relationship with them. But then once I realized that him being in a relationship with his parents, it was worse. So I left it alone. I said whatever will be with them, but I never voiced my opinion about their parents or how I thought about even how they treated us. But I still work with him, and to this day, he even, I always told him, I said, boy, you just know you black, huh? He just fell out tickled. But we never, I told him, I said, when you sit at my table, it's not a color. You know what I'm saying? I don't see color. You bleed red blood just like I do. And once you eat at my table and sleep in my home, you are now family. So that's what I see, family. So
that's wonderful. That's no.
But I prefer not to have girls.
Why?
I had an experience with girls. Some girls, they're more moodier than guys. They're much harder to
Trust.
trust is a big factor because they don't always tell the truth. And then I had a young lady that she was a teen mom, so she was actually pregnant when she came to me. She was 15, but she was pregnant, and she never had a good relationship with her mother. But then she didn't have any motherly experience or examples around her. So I found myself trying to nurture her and to show her how to nurture her baby. And doing so, she reacted towards me in a very negative way. And when I say negative, it's negative. Like she was engaging in conversation concerning me as if I wasn't even in the room. And I can see if I was doing something harmful. But, a newborn baby, but you walk around with this baby on your hip like it's 2 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, you have to support the baby's head. You got to keep the bottles sanitized. You got to dispose of the diapers properly. And because I was suggesting all these things, they took it more as me demanding or telling them what to do or how to raise their child, and so they started insinuating that I was trying to take their baby.
I believe.
So ever since that, that was a really challenging experience for me, and so I'd rather not have girls.
Wow. So it's a lot of parents. See, you guys are good foster parents, but there's a lot of foster parents who are not ready to be foster parents, and they just doing it for the money.
Exactly. I told you that before. A lot of parents, and this is the sad part, CFSA, when I actually was taking the classes, a lot of people, we had to take so many classes, but, other people came in, they didn't do a background check, and I think it's so, in a way, CFSA is racist too,
Wow. But that's when a child goes into a foster home, they looking to escape from the negativity, the abuse that they got from the previous foster care, and if they going into another foster care that's doing the same thing,
it is written. It is written. It has been written, and it has been done.
And I feel sorry for those kids because that's all they know.
Right.
Yeah, they know abuse. We met a couple of kids that the foster parent will only bring them upstairs when the social workers come.
Wow.
They had the rooms fixed up like the kids were actually living in the rooms, and the kids was living in the basement.
Oh, my.
Wow.
So it's really true. It's there.
My.
They just there for the money.
For the money. But then look at the damage that you can continually doing to
and then
children.
That's why you have a lot of foster kids that run away.
Yeah.
And on substance abuse too, like drugs and alcohol.
Right. The most molestation go on is in foster care.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like they want kids, but they don't want kids. They want their
Actually,
money.
that's the government stepping in, trying to raise a family, and actually, long time ago, the black family was the strongest family on earth. They took the black family and copied it to show other people what love was. Because my understanding is we teach our kids to love, and other races teach their kids to love money.
Yeah. A lot of black foster parents, they are abusive also.
I ain't leave them out. I said it did, and it could, and it would. It has happened.
Well, that is so sad. It should be a way that they can. I guess they don't do the screening on everyone that receives.
Oh, they do the screening on us.
Right, on us, but not everyone.
Exactly.
That's looking to do foster care. They just want to know how many bedrooms you have, how many kids can fit in that bedroom, and we're gonna give you this amount.
Now it used to be 2 kids in a bedroom, but now they breaking it down that it has to be 1 child in that bedroom.
Yeah, because I was looking
unless
into
they're
it.
siblings, right?
Not even siblings.
Oh, really?
Because I know a couple of parents that have kids that has autism,
Okay.
and each one of those kids have to have their own bedroom.
They should. I'm
Each
just
one
saying.
each one has to have their own bedroom. So now I don't know if they made it the law in DC. Well, I know it's in DC that I don't think two can be
In one room.
in a bedroom unless it's emergency placement.
Okay, like respite
Right,
care.
but then they have to make sure within like a couple of weeks or something that this child get its own bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Right, I can see that, because if you work any time with a child with autism, you will understand
Yes.
that they need their own.
And I give my
room.
props to all the people that, if you're doing right by these kids, I salute you.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I do too. My hands
Oh,
to go
yes.
off, because
Yes.
that's a big.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, because when they come into your home, you have to treat them like your own children, but but you can't. I mean, you can, but you
Sure, I don't know where you getting this from, but
I mean-
listen to me.
you can't
My
treat them.
house and her house, they are our kids.
Everybody's treated the same.
In my house and her house,
But that's your house
But
and her
actually-
house,
But
but
this
it's not
is what we're
everybody's
saying.
home.
Right.
this is what we're saying. People intentions are not like mine or
Right,
hers.
that's what I'm saying. So,
Right. So they
it's a
shouldn't be
lot.
able to get these kids.
They shouldn't. That's why I say some people get background checks and some people don't.
If you
Right.
was to ask my children swore that we treated the foster children better than we treated them. They felt that our rules were less strict. When it came to the foster children, it's like they got away with more. They got more, and I don't think it wasn't never intentionally that we did it, but I did in a few incidents that when they would bring it to our attention, well, we didn't get that. We was like, well, their situation is a lot different than yours, so. But then they started joining in on it. Then they started
Exactly.
helping out,
Yes,
so.
I didn't have that. They all.
But that happens in homes that don't have foster kids. They
Right.
Sometimes they treat one different
Child
from,
better than the
or
other.
like boys and girls. The boys can go out, but the girls can't. I mean,
Like one of my kids, I got from California,
Oh, wow.
and I didn't know it, but she ended up being gay,
Okay.
and she thought I was not going to love her, and I said, you can do what you want to do outside that door, but when you come in here, you better let her hand go, and you better sit over there, and she better sit right here. That's how it's gonna be in my house.
Right.
So,
but she already knew that there.
yes, she know.
But she probably didn't have no problem.
No
None.
problem, none.
So,
They just
yeah.
want to be accepted. That's all.
Like everybody wants to be accepted. We are about to go to break. This is our last break, I think. This is our last break. It's 7:00.
Time flies.
Wow, time flies when you're having fun. We would love to see you back here next week, next Saturday, same time, same place.
Think back.
Same woman channel.
So join us at Sharon's Neighborhood Chat next week. See you later. Bye. Smooches.
Mwah.
Beauty's in the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
Welcome back. Sharon's Neighborhood Chat. We are about to wrap up, but we want to just end shortly. We want to talk about this COVID virus and the homeless. Okay, now the homeless. What do you think about the homeless wearing masks? I haven't seen any homeless people wearing any masks. Have you?
No, I haven't seen them wearing masks. But I'm really curious of how they're able to maintain and manage, and how many have been exposed to the virus due to the fact that they're out in the public. But just like we've been talking about this COVID for a while now, and I really believe that by now we should have developed some type of resources or whatever for those that are not able to live in homes like are living under the bridge or living in joint combined homes, that show them different ways in order to keep this virus from spreading. Because
Right.
it's known that in African American race we are being exposed more because we live in such close proximity to one another. We tend to live more than one family to a home, and then a lot more of African American people travel by way of public transportation. So we are exposed to the virus more than other races,
Right.
other cultures. So I'm just believing that, or hoping rather, that we have found a way to really, because to me it doesn't seem like this is really just gonna just die out. You know how you get the flu virus came out, and then what was SARS came, and then all of a sudden you didn't hear about it anymore. So but now it doesn't seem like this is going anywhere, you know.
Right,
so.
because winter is coming, so now we have these people that's going to come up with pneumonia and the flu and colds and stuff. And like if we have a job, if you come in coughing and stuff, they're going to send you home. Can we afford to stay home for 14 days?
Wow, and there's a lot of people that are going on furlough and losing their homes, and also seen on the news that there are actually teachers that are refusing to go back in the classrooms. So.
really don't think the government is really taking care of the homeless when they come up to this situation.
Right.
Because they can go out and pass out blankets, so why can't they go out and get a big supply of masks and pass them out?
Yes.
I don't see the district government doing that. I can't speak for Maryland or Virginia, but I can say DC is not doing that. I
I
don't
know
think
in the
the mayor
beginning-
is doing right.
People was going out and passing out masks, but I haven't seen this in a while.
And again, when you say the homeless, you gotta also take in mental health.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they are
Some
a
of
big
them
part
think-
of the homeless.
Some of them think like this is an alien. You know,
Yeah.
they're not gonna put the alien across their face.
Wow.
And I don't know how much more we can do with that because if they're not going to wear it, they're not going to wear it, and they still going to come in contact with other people.
Yeah.
So, and I know some of the restaurants where they was giving out food and stuff to the homeless, they're not doing it anymore because of the COVID. So we have a lot of homeless people who, I guess, I don't know if they go through the dumpsters looking for food because
Yeah,
of the
that's
restaurant.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Because the
Wow.
restaurants is not like McDonald's used to give the food away to the homeless. I don't think they do that anymore.
They don't. I don't know.
Wow.
So I just feel for those that's homeless, the mental ill people, and the young people that's been out because of foster care. They aging out. It's more people on the streets that's hungry, and now we got more crime because they're going to do whatever they can do to get food and money.
Right.
So I don't know what it is that we can do as a whole, as a community, to help our community that's homeless. I don't, like I said, I haven't seen any of them wearing masks. Not a lot of them. Some of them are wearing masks and some are not.
Right.
So, and who's to say who we come in contact doesn't have it?
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because you really can't tell the difference, especially with this being the season where colds and flu is norm.
About to come
You don't-
upon,
right?
yes.
And you don't know. You really
And people
don't
got
know.
allergies, so people looking at you, oh, you might.
Right. And then you got a lot of agencies and churches and different organizations that would normally do feeding at this time are not.
They not.
Because the fear of someone
Catching
becoming contaminated, and then it falls back in the laps of these organizations or agencies, so they're not doing it anymore. But then you got, even though that agency would probably be someone or an agency that's practicing proper procedures, but then there's still that chance. So.
So if anyone would like to help feed the homeless, contact the boss. We will be glad to come and serve and feed the homeless.
The boss.
Sharon's
the
neighborhood chat, or
Sharon.
She's the boss.
She's the boss.
And Sharon's neighborhood chat. We're gonna put something together, especially for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I haven't figured out how we're gonna work it because I had talked to one of the shelters, and they only letting a limited amount of people in, like 10 people at a time. In
This
the
is
building
what
to eat.
we've done as a, we don't go to the shelters. We go under the bridge.
Yeah.
We go to under the bridge. We go on those street corners, and we just already have things prepared,
Yeah, and just
and we
pass
just
them
pack.
out.
We just pack.
So that's what
pull
we
up
was
our
going to
trunk
do. Ann said she was going to cook.
Okay.
So we was going to get some dinners and just pass them out.
Right.
And they can just take it to wherever they go to eat or
Right.
whatever. So if you want to
Help in the
participate,
support. Mhm.
volunteer, or send some donations, you can reach us on our Facebook. When we come Facebook, you can reach us on Sharon's Neighborhood Chat. Go to the Facebook Sharon's Neighborhood Chat, and what is it? Sharon's Neighborhood Chat group. We have a group also, so you can come on that and you just email us. Sharon's what is it? Right, Sharon's Neighborhood Chat 523@gmail.com. And we would love for you to volunteer or donate. Again, we have a lot of people out hungry on the streets, and not only on the streets, or in their homes, and because a lot of people are out of work,
Yes.
and they just can't afford food and stuff like that. So we want to just bless some families this year.
Yes.
God is good. So
All the time.
all the time. So we just want to bless a family with a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to give away some turkeys. I have 10 that I'm hoping to get.
Okay.
So if you're in need, just let us know that you would like a turkey, or any way that we can help you, because the holidays is coming. Because we want to do Thanksgiving, we want to do Christmas. Because these holidays is not like any other holidays that we have experienced. This is a trying and stressful whole year. I just be glad when 2021 come, and even in the beginning, it's still
gonna
going to
wear
be
a mask.
right. It's just nothing. I don't think too much is going to change in the beginning anyway. But like I said, we need to help our communities. We need to get Trump out the White House.
Oh boy.
Victoria Harris did not touch that one.
So I'm just saying, we will see you next week, 1 o'clock, with a smile. Or better yet, we want you guys to call in 707-932-5368. And we're going to start a contest next week. So we want you to call in, and we would like to either have you on the show if you have something to talk about, or you can email us with a topic, and we'll make sure it gets done. We are out of here. We will see you next week. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. Wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're all that I have. So just in case.
Think how we made love almost anywhere. Haven't I taken you almost everywhere? Think of all the things that we shared and imagine me not there. Giving you more chemistry than baby. Got you, baby. Everything I've got, you can have it, baby. I'll do measure. I'll do all I can to keep you satisfied. So just in case I don't make it home tonight, baby.
Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby.
Make sweet love
Wanna cherish each moment
tonight.
like the last, 'cause baby, you're all that I have. So just in case.
just in case, just in case. Rolling like the last, 'cause baby, you're that I have. So just in case. Yeah. Haven't I made you feel so special? As your man, I've held your hand, never letting go. Let you hold the keys to the Lex. We drive, gave you all you need and want as long as I'm alive. Even from the heavens up above, I'll shine on all. Too much is never enough. Ooh, you're all I want. Even when I'm gone, the love will carry on. It's just that strong, so just in case. Just in case I make it home tonight. Make it home, baby. For the last time, baby. Wanna cherish this moment like the last. 'Cause baby, you're that I have just in case. Just in case I don't make it home tonight. Just in case. Time, baby. Wanna cherish this moment like the last. 'Cause baby, you're that I have. So just in case. The last time. Oh. Baby, you know I love you more than anything in this whole world. You're my anything, my everything, my wife, my queen. So if something happens to me, there's something you need to know. Just in case I make it home tonight. Let me make love to you for the last time, baby. I love you, yeah. I love you. Wanna cherish this moment like the last. 'Cause baby, you're that I have. So just in case I don't make it home, I don't make it home, I want you to know. Just in case. Just in case. Let me make love to you for the last time, baby. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, you make me whole. 'Cause baby, you're that I have. So just in case. Just in case, baby. I want. Just in case I make it home tonight. Let me make love to you for the last time, baby. All night, all night.
I'm not the